This guy.
I'm 2 for 2.
I've said all along.
What type of glasses are those?
Well, they're Hubs. They're not mine, and they're not
they don't look
polarized.
quite as cool.
I mean,
Yeah, they are cool.
They got blue.
They have blue. Mavs blue. You guys aren't seeing a win.
Okay.
It's first things first. Today, Celtics cruise. Okay, I know you guys are fans of analytics. Well, I've got horrible news for you. 36 teams have been down 0-2, 37 now with the Mavs. Only 5 have come back to win. Those are them right there.
That's an analytic.
It's not really analytics, but it's data.
Okay,
it is
well,
data.
Attack me because your picks are about to be.
No, all right. Well,
it's analytics.
Another way to look at it is the last team down 0-2 came back to win. The most recent team down 0-2 came back to win. That is also true. That was
has nothing to do with the Mavs.
Okay, but go ahead. But as you were, the question.
Panic time?
Brew, how can you, me, or anyone panic when everyone knows the series hasn't even started yet? I mean, the series is yet to start,
like
and as Wildes taught us 2 weeks ago, oddly, the Mavs now have home court advantage. Even though they're down 0-2, they have home court advantage.
3 more games in Dallas.
With all that said, while it is not panic time, I will be fair here. There are some very concerning signs.
Yes.
That is not.
You think?
That's not deniable. And the fact that right now, and I know we'll talk specifically about Luka and Tatum's games more at length later, but I thought Luka played an A-ish game, and I thought Tatum played a D-ish game.
D-?
And the Celtics won. The fact that going into the fourth quarter, the team that is more reliant on the three than any team in the league had 6 of them, and they won.
Yeah,
the fact that this was once again a game where I think the Mavs would say, held them to 105, even if some of that was good luck, is just because of missed shots. Defensively, we'll take that, and still the Celtics won. That all of those things are very concerning. I think that right now, you would have to say, given how Kyrie's playing, Boston has the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th best players. Right, how they're playing. I think Luka's played the best of everyone, and I think 2 through 6 belongs to Boston. Now, we thought
at least
3 through 6, or I'm sorry, we thought that basically 5 through 8 could belong to Boston because we thought it'd be Luka and Kyrie and Tatum and Brown would be in the top 4, but Kyrie's not picking up his end of the bargain. But here's what I'll say, Brew. The reason I don't think all hope is lost is because I will reference that Bucks series. Because what happened in that Bucks series when a Suns team that was on a 60-win caliber Suns team,
it was over.
It was a shortened season, so they didn't win 60. They were up 2-0, and they had dominated both those 2 games. What happened? We can show it to you quickly. Giannis took his game to a whole nother level. And by the way, in Game 2, much like Game 2 for Luka, he played really well, and they still got rocked. And then Giannis took over. So do I think that's in play for Luka? Of course I do. But do I think there are right now really systemic issues with how Dallas is struggling dealing with Boston's defense?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. And all the role players don't seem ready for the moment right now.
I'm not hitting the panic button yet, but it's within eye shot. It's right there, and I'm watching. All right, they got one shot. Game 3. We all know you go down 3-0, it's over. All right, so they got to do something. And I want to credit the Celtics.
Yep.
They have played tremendously. They look like a great team, and I think I was specifically, we were the first ones we brought up. They look a lot like the 04 Pistons, Detroit Pistons, where it's just a great team. Big names, Chauncey, Rasheed, but a great team. And this looks like a great team versus a one-man show. All right, and here's the proof that it's a team. They got 5 guys averaging more than 15 points a game, 16 and more. All right, the last team to do that in the NBA Finals, the 1987 Lakers, with Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, through the first 2 games of the series. All right, guess how many the Mavs have?
1.
Averaging more than 16 points or more. They got 1.
Yeah, Luka.
It is Luka Doncic versus the Boston Celtics.
Well, that won't work.
No, it's not working. I mean, and I don't know if the other guys, the moments to be, they need Kyrie and Luka to create for them. P.J. Washington is playing all right.
Played fine. I think he's played well. He's the only one.
Right. Kyrie just is not playing well, and I know we're going to get to Kyrie, but like I said, they can't beat Boston if Kyrie's not great. All right, Luka has played well enough to win. Kyrie's got to hold up his end of the bargain.
You think he's going to play great? I feel like that's
Kyrie. Well, he better. That's the only chance they got. Not good.
I think he can get to pretty good. But Drew is on him. I don't think great is off the board.
He's got to be great.
Do you think he has to be great for a whole game? Because I thought yesterday was an example where if he could have just been great for a 5-minute stretch in the fourth quarter, they could have stolen the game.
If he's great, I mean, if he has a stretch and he ends up having 27 points, but most of it was in a spurt or a lot of it, that's fine.
Okay, yes.
I don't think we need to great. He's Kyrie Irving. I'm not asking Derrick Jones Jr. to be great. I'm asking Kyrie Irving. All right. Now, one thing they can do is they got to play faster. They have to play faster because they were in the top 6 or 7 in pace all season, and Boston likes a slow pace. All right, and this has been a slow-paced series, these two games. And what happens when you play slow against Boston, guess what? You have to face that great half-court defense when it's set. And Kyrie, and again, we'll get to him, but they're struggling against that defense. So they got to try to pick up the pace if they want to get back into this game. Or this series.
What's up, Wildes?
You know what I heard there? Because I think you guys nailed a lot of the analysis.
Gentlemen.
Tin Man mode. You guys. A little bit. Not the Mavs, but you guys.
No.
You guys are in a little bit. You guys are Tin Man mode adjacent.
No, listen. Right now, the Celtics look clearly like the better team. They know what Tin Man mode means. Yeah.
Need some more. He's 2 series removed from his,
this is why, listen,
so he feels
I'm
good.
all for, can I just say something to you, my friend? I'm all for smug jerk on TV.
Sure.
I think Drew's the only one who never plays that role. I sometimes play that role.
Jerk.
You play that role
What are
sometimes.
you talking about?
But it has to be legitimate. If this were the Denver Nuggets in this position, it would have been earned.
Oh, you would.
But Mr. I won't pick a finals team now acting like you have Lucky tattooed on your arm is embarrassing. Rick, take him off camera. He's infuriating.
You guys know it's over. This is exactly what I predicted.
I don't know it's over.
Exactly
I don't know it's over.
No.
Surprise, surprise, the team with the largest margin of victory, the number one off net, net number one offense, number 2 defense. It's all right there for you sitting there. And you're saying it's going to be Giannis. The big difference in the Giannis versus the Suns, not only does Giannis explode on offense, Giannis also locked down defense.
Well, that's the difference.
Luka's cone.
Yeah.
Cone, go right around it.
He is a cone.
So
he's in cone mode.
Listen, I think that is too harsh, but he obviously has had some bad defensive moments.
He looks like he can't move as well, but he's saving it for offense and defense. He's like he can't move.
And so but hold on. But everything, a lot of what you're saying is legitimate. The reason that I think it would be insane to say the series is over is not only the history of teams have come back from down 2-0, not only the fact that they haven't played their home games yet, not only the fact that they are favored in Game 3, and then all of us will feel like they win Game 4, that we clearly have a coin flip series, but also because nobody thought going into these finals, Jason Tatum's going to look terrified. No, and so a lot of the Celtics, margin and all of it. And so when you have, it's not just that the Mavs have the best player. The guy who's supposed to be, and I know we're talking about it here, the Celtics' best player is playing some of his worst basketball of the season. And so that, to me, it makes the door open in a way that I don't think you anticipated.
So let's dig into that. These numbers haven't been great. He has 20 rebounds over 2 games. He's got some assists, and the turnovers went down at least yesterday. But he's shooting 27%, and he is now 4 for 14. It's the worst 2-game stretch, shooting percentage-wise, that he's had all year. Go ahead. You're not.
No, I mean, listen.
Well, what's the question?
Well, the question was Tatum, the Celtics' best player, but he got fired up.
Well, no, I mean, he's certainly has not looked like their best second or third best player this series.
No.
Thus far. Now, could we leave this series saying Jaylen Brown's a better player? Maybe. I think Tatum's, accomplishments and eye test over the breadth of his career is going to make it hard for me to say, hey, they're all free agents. Who do you want? But fact of it, listen, I was there yesterday, and Celtic fans, by the way, shout out Boston. Everybody who knew me and knew I had picked the Mavs, every single person I dealt with, save one human being, was delightful and great sports fans. Like, gave me a little hell for picking the Mavs and then just talk sports. It was great. All of those people, by the under 4 minute time into the first quarter, what the hell's going on with Tatum? And by the third quarter, saying, man, we're going to have to win despite Tatum. Yeah. It wasn't, he's doing these things well. And he looked unsure of himself. And the reason is because he is now, and maybe he'll turn it around, but as far as inefficiency in the finals, setting records, here is, since the merger brew, guys who have played at least 8 finals games and taken at least 100 shots, where he is. So it's the 4th worst. Bruce Bowen, Brian Shaw, Henry Bibby, shout out him.
Some Harrison, nice names on that
Harrison
list,
Barnes.
actually.
Well, and then how about guys who have taken, forget the games, 150 shots in the finals? He's got the worst. Now, Patrick Ewing's an all-time great player. He also only played in 1 finals and was up against arguably the greatest defensive player ever in a team. Because Ewing didn't play in the 99.
Too.
He's a center. It's bad for Patrick, no doubt. Jason Tatum it's the worst. It's the worst since the merger.
There. Not great.
And so there is no getting around that. And so I would appreciate his quote more, Brew, if he had taken 8 shots. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to let Jason Kidd get to me. Well, I'm going to do whatever it is. But don't tell me, I'm not worried about it, but you're taking more shots than anyone on the team by a lot.
Yeah.
You're not playing well offensively. You're not.
First, I'll answer your question. I do still think he's the best player. Now, he clearly hasn't been the best. At best, 3rd best player in this series for the Celtics. At best.
And maybe
it
4th.
could be 4th, right. He might not be their most clutch player. I mean, the statistics show he's not the most clutch or the vocal leader, and we're kind of seeing that from Jaylen Brown. But I do think he's the best player. He's led him in scoring the last 5 years. The last 2 years, he's led him in scoring and rebounding. This year, in the regular season, scoring and rebounding leader, 2nd in assists. Playoffs has led them in scoring, rebounding, and assists. So it's hard not to say he's the best player. Now, I think the gap between him and Brown is close. And we've always thought it's kind of a duo, 1A, maybe 1B, but it's pretty close. But I still think Tatum
that's why it's
is
looking
the best.
like your point on the 04 Pistons is something.
Yeah,
because I don't know who definitively was. I know Chauncey won Finals MVP. I don't know who definitively was the best player on that team.
You're right. So I do still think he's the best. And obviously, the numbers don't lie. But I would say this. This is where I would push back on what you said about his quote. I like that he's still shooting. If my leading score is off, I still want him shooting, right? We've heard it often said about guys, go 3 for 22 rather than 3 for 7. You're not on, so you stop shooting. And so I like that, and I've told you before. I also like that he did other things. He defended well. He obviously is rebounding well. He's the leading rebounder on the team. He's leading in assists on the team. I know those are role player things for the most part, but still, the fact that he's not letting his poor shooting stop him from doing other things, and he kept shooting, and he went to the cup.
So I like that.
He didn't settle for the 3.
But not all
five of his baskets were at the rim.
Yeah, but then
so
he
made 1 3 and then 5 of his buckets at the rim.
It's one thing to keep going. So one of the reasons the Mavs were able to get back for a moment in this game is because Tatum in the 4th quarter upped the volume on shooting.
Yeah.
So again, don't I appreciate that he truly, and I give him credit for this. If they win the I understand that if we win, who cares what my numbers are? That part I respect and I appreciate, and not every athlete's like that, and I do believe that. But this idea that other guys are getting going, so I'll just let the game come to me. That's not how he played.
Here's a jump shot, Brew, that I don't think you like because I didn't like it. This is 8:24 in the 4th. So this is the type of stuff, I don't know why we're taking that shot. You want to go to the.
That's what he does. He shoots those shots.
Okay.
We know that.
Yeah. That's not going to work.
I mean,
if that's one of your 22
they
shots, like that's
won.
looking
They're
for your
up 2-0.
shot, and it's a silly shot.
That's a turnaround jumper by an NBA player. That's not a crazy shot.
When he went into that
27
mode,
points
I
a
would have
game.
bet my life savings that wasn't going in. My life's savings. Good news. I have 2 life savings now. I'm just saying, as soon as he got into that, when he goes Kobe, when he goes Kobe mode,
bad plays.
but he's not. He's not.
He's off.
He's
off.
Brew, didn't it look like he was uncertain?
Yes.
Didn't it look like he didn't know what he wanted to do? And then when he did go to the cup, he almost was sped up, which is why he was missing those layups almost like hard. Like, that sounds weird, but he was missing a layup long.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I know that sounds ridiculous.
He does have to step it up.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I think the Mavs. One way you could argue that the Celtics are up 2-0 and Tatum haven't even played well. The other side of that coin is that if this keeps spiraling for Tatum, then the door stays open for the Mavs.
I'm going to try to be glass half full, and it's like, it's Tatum 36-point game.
Well, yeah, I mean he's due, but he's been due for a great finals game forever.
From 9 finals.
Yeah, 8 finals games. Yeah.
All right, end of the game. Brew, did the Celtics get lucky?
I wouldn't say. Look, it was a foul. There's no question about that it was a foul. And obviously, if he makes that bucket or makes 2 free throws, they're down 3 with 50 seconds left. So they have a
real chance.
Yeah, and look, stuff like this, and I'm bothered somewhat that they missed this call. You just can't miss that call.
That's a pretty fast call.
I mean,
you're calling the push?
Yeah,
of course.
Absolutely, the push. But my point is this. The Celtics control the game for the most part. They outplayed them.
That's correct.
This would have been stealing the game. Now, stealing the game still counts.
Yep.
Could have been 1-1. But I don't feel bad at all for the Mavericks. Blown calls happen all the time, and the Celtics deserve to win.
Yep.
They played well enough. They dominated the game. They deserve to win, so I don't have a problem.
I agree with almost everything Bruce said. I try to do like my own kind of real-time win probability. If they make that call, I think the Mavs have about a 20% chance to win. I think you're down 3 with the other team having the ball with 50 seconds left.
Yeah.
I think you've got you got to think about a 1 in 5 chance of winning. And without them making that call, I think their chance of winning is down to about 2%. Right. We're down 5 with not having the ball at the same time. So it's a huge swing of, hey, we have a chance to, we basically have no chance. Here's why I think but I agree with Brew, the better team, the team that played better won that game. But what I found interesting, so in the stadium, I thought they called a foul because I saw the clock stop. And then nothing happened, and it's kind of lost in the chaos. So then I went back, watched the game footage. You know who thought it was a foul? The timekeeper. Watch the clock. The clock stays and then gets going again. So watch it again. At 50.5 seconds, the clock stops for a good 2 seconds. Watch. And the ball's still in play. And it's because the timekeeper thought, oh, there's a foul. And so, like, you can say, it's hard to see. I'm not saying you, a lot of people, but where I was sitting, I thought it was a foul. The scorekeeper thought it was a foul. Obviously, the Mavs thought it was a foul. And by the way, I think Jaylen Brown thought it was a foul too. So that's a big miss. It just is a big miss call. And again, the Celtics probably win otherwise.
Lucky is too strong a word.
But yes,
they got lucky.
But they were very fortunate there. Okay. And I'm curious, and I was surprised that in reviewing the broadcast, nobody noticed the clock just stopped in real time.
That's why you come to first things first. See the clock stop. You took a little bit of a leap, thought it was foul.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.